Hey there, and welcome back. Today, we're diving into something that's getting a ton of buzz: herbal remedies and male health. It's a world where these ancient traditions are crashing right into modern science. But with so many bold claims floating around, what's real and what's just hype? Let's get into it. And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? As more of us look for holistic approaches to health, traditional medicine is getting a serious second look. But can these plants and potions that have been around for centuries actually help with the complex fertility challenges many face today? We're about to find out. All right, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off by exploring this vast, ancient knowledge base. Then we're going to zoom way in on the modern science of just one popular compound. From there, we'll sort out the marketing promises from the actual evidence, shine a light on a critical safety warning that almost everyone misses, and wrap up with how you can navigate all this for your own health. Okay, first up, let's step into this world of traditional herbal medicine. We're going to look at this incredible knowledge passed down for generations and figure out why it's getting so much attention right now. I mean, just look at this number. We're talking 60 to 80 million couples. The sheer scale of this is staggering, making it a true global health challenge. And honestly, it's numbers like this that explain exactly why so many people are looking for answers anywhere they can find them, often beyond conventional medicine. And this is where things get really interesting. Looking at Iranian traditional medicine, for example, it's like a massive natural pharmacy. You've got things like ginger, thought to help with blood flow, or walnuts packed with antioxidants. Hey, see that last one, chamomile? Tuck that away in the back of your mind. We're definitely coming back to it. All right, so you get the picture, this huge ancient library of herbal knowledge. But how does modern science actually check these claims? Well, to figure that out, let's zoom way in from that giant library to just one single popular compound, Apigenin. So what exactly is this stuff, Apigenin? Well, it's a natural compound called a flavonoid. The easiest way to think about flavonoids is that they're often the pigments that give plants their awesome, vibrant colors. You find Apigenin in everyday things like parsley, celery, and, you guessed it, chamomile. And scientists are really interested in its potential antioxidant and anti-inflammatory powers. And you can see why scientists are so intrigued. The research is looking at everything from helping with blood sugar to brain health to even improving sleep. So with all this promising buzz, it's no wonder the supplement industry's ears perked up. They're always on the hunt for the next big thing, especially when it comes to testosterone. And this is where we get to the core of it. You see these claims online, right? Apigenin can boost your testosterone, but what's the real story? Let's peel back the marketing and see what the science actually says. So here's the first big reality check. Right now, the idea that Apigenin boosts testosterone in humans is pretty much all theoretical. It sounds plausible on paper, but a good theory is a long way from being a proven fact. So where are all these big claims coming from? Well, they're coming from studies on mice. Researchers saw some effects when they applied it to isolated mouse cells in a petri dish, or when they studied it in obese rodents. And this is the most important part, the bottom line. To date, there is zero solid evidence that taking an Apigenin supplement will effectively increase testosterone levels in actual human beings. That leap from a lab dish to a person is a huge one, and the science just hasn't made it, not even close. And this slide just lays it all out, plain and simple. On one side, you've got the marketing claim. On the other, the scientific reality. The studies are what we call in vitro, meaning in a lab on isolated cells, or they're in animals. You just can't draw a firm conclusion for people from that kind of early data. But that rarely stops a product from flying onto the shelves. Okay, but let's pause for a second. Efficacy, whether it works, is only half the story. We absolutely have to talk about safety, because this is the part that's so often dangerously overlooked. The word natural does not mean harmless. It's just not that simple. And believe me, this is where it gets really complicated fast. Pretty much every herb out there has the potential to interact with a whole laundry list of common medications. This is something you have to take very seriously. I mean, just listen to this. This is a direct warning from a clinical guide for doctors. It says to use great caution with drugs that have a narrow therapeutic window. What that means is, for some drugs, the line between a dose that helps you and a dose that could seriously harm you is razor thin. It's like walking a tightrope, and an herbal interaction could be the gust of wind that knocks you off.
So let's bring this right back to our case study. Remember Apigenin comes from chamomile? Well, that same chamomile tea you might be drinking can have an added sedative effect if you're taking what are called CNS depressants, things like sleeping pills or some anti-anxiety meds. It could also mess with the levels of a critical immunosuppressant drug like cyclosporin. These aren't just hypotheticals. These are very real-world risks.
Okay, so after all that, where does this leave us? What are you supposed to do with this information? Well, our final section is all about how you can navigate this complex world safely and responsibly. It really boils down to 3 key things. First off, start with what we actually know works. Things like regular exercise and a balanced diet are proven, established ways to support healthy hormone levels. Second, based on the evidence we have right now, it's smart to see herbs as a potential support system, not some kind of magic bullet. And third, and seriously, this is the big one, always talk to your doctor or healthcare team before you start taking any new supplement. They're the only ones who can see the whole picture and help you avoid a dangerous interaction. Which brings us to our final thought for today. When we're reaching for these natural health solutions, maybe the question shouldn't just be, does it work? Maybe we need to start asking the harder questions like, okay, but is it proven in people? And most importantly, is it safe for me? Asking those questions, that's how you make the best decisions for your health. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.